Hello, this is Dixie from DC Paper Crafts doing a video for Scrappin' in the City, and I'm going to show you how to make this really fun, beautiful card with some new products at the store right now. So let me pan out and we'll get started. Okay, let me show you the new products in the store that we're going to use to make this. Move that out of the way. First is this FabScraps Victoria Roses. This is a book of flowers. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but you get 4 different flower cutouts on each page in, I believe, 8 different choices. Today I'm going to work with this paper and this paper and make some flowers, but you can buy these by the sheet or by the kit at the store, and that's what makes it so fun. Also, I'm going to use this paper. This is the We Are Memory Keepers antique sheet paper. It's a 12 by 12. I've cut it all apart to use the words. Fun, fun, fun. And a fun cutout from my Silhouette Cameo. And we're going to start off with some chalkboard glimmer mist and Heidi Swapp color shine to make my white chevron background the color I want it. Okay. I'm going to start with my, shake like a bell, shake like a bell. Doesn't this look awful in the bottle? It looks like the ugly green. That's what we called it, ugly green. But when it goes on, it's just beautiful. It's one of my favorite colors. This is Heidi Swapp's Primrose. Get a little more down there. And then I'm just going to take off any excess. And to be careful with this, it's a little bit delicate. I think that'll work out. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way and let it dry while we work on flowers. Okay, so I'm going to finish using this sheet of paper, and these just pull out. They stayed on the page very well, and they come out very well, so that's a cool thing they've done there. Pop out some of these leaves. One more should do it for me. And then, so those are blue ones, and I already have a blue one made. And then pink ones. On the edge, it's instead of just popping out, it's perforated, and you have to be a little bit careful with that. Use your scissors or go slow. Just keep popping them out. What you have is 3 pop-out flowers of the same size, and that would make a flower. So we have 4 different sizes, or 4 different flowers. But from page to page, the flowers are exactly the same, so you can mix and match them. I was going to try that with this as we go along, and you'll see what I mean. Let me show you how to make flowers. I'm going to start with the biggest one first. And you're going to pop out the center, but don't throw them away. You're going to want them. Don't throw anything away until you're completely done, because you use several of the pieces as we go along. Okay, so here's how this works. The first flower you just cut right in between. The second flower, you're going to cut off 1 petal. Save it, you're going to need it. And the second flower, or the third flower, you're going to cut off 2 petals. Save that piece. And then at this point, or before you cut it, you're supposed to fold it along the petal lines just to give it some, help it curl up and have some definition. So I'm just folding up quickly on the lines. I'm not trying to give it a really sharp fold, it just helps it to cup. Okay. And what we're going to do is start gluing our flowers together. I'm going to use a liquid glue. I like glossy accents. I'm just going to put some glue on this petal and slide this one over so that it covers it exactly. So you see I have my first flower. This will be my bottom flower. Here's my next one. Again, same thing. Just put enough glue on there to stick it on there. You can see it's a smaller flower. or a tighter flower. And then the last one, just lining it up. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on one of the centers. I'm going to put a fair amount of glue. I really want it to get to the edges. And let's see, I'm going to let that sit for just a minute, and I'm going to bring in some Tim Holtz Distress ink. Keep that out of my way. And I'm going to ink the edges of my flower. And again, you could do this before you cut it, whatever stage of the project you like to do it. I'm just kind of doing it as I think of it, which maybe isn't the best way to do it, but in fact, I would suggest that you do this before you cut them. If you've already cut it, it's not that difficult to go ahead and ink. Alright. And then I am going to grab a chopstick and some tweezers. And we're just going to start rolling the petals. I'm just using the small end, and I'm just going to roll it. Just rolling the petals down. Very, very simple. See if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of curling the paper over. Alright, so there's my first layer, and I'm going to set it down in this glue. Second layer. There we go. I'm going to offset the petals and set it down in the glue. I lost my chopstick down here. Okay, last one. Roll those petals. Try to offset that as well. Set it down in the glue, and you can see it's coming together. And then for the center, you're going to pull these two petal pieces that you cut off earlier out, and you're going to roll it about in half. So I have it rolled this way, and then I'm going to take my tweezers and I am going to roll it to the inside with the folded part out. So there's the very center of my flower. I'm going to do the same thing here. Roll this about in half. Take my tweezers and roll it with that folded part outside. This is going to be the outside part. I'm just kind of squeezing it there before I pull my tweezers off. And I'm going to unroll it and stick this in the middle. Fold it all back together, and I'm going to crush the edges down a little bit so that it will stick well down in that glue. And just kind of mash it down there. Isn't that pretty? And it goes together really easily. So I'm going to show you, we're going to do a couple more flowers very quickly, and I'm going to play around with mixing some of the colors. Here's a blue one I've already made. But it works the same no matter what size flower you're making, and we want, looks like we want 5 flowers for this card. Alright, let's look at mixing some of the layers here. I'm going to cut that one, cut that one, and then I'll cut 2 off of this one and see what happens. So this is this size. I think that's kind of cute. Alright, let's wad up, let me wad them up and then we'll decide what we want to do with them. So we have those flowers, and I'm going to make this one in the more traditional way. Alright, and now let me show you some of the other ways that you can add bling and sparkle and interest to your flowers. I'm going to take stickles, this one's Stardust, and I am just going to add it along the edge. You know, I'm going to show you how to do this, but I'm going to suggest that you wait to do this until you glue them on your card. You know why? Because for me, once I have stickles on a flower, I can't keep my fingers out of it. I end up adding stickles to the piece 14 times because I keep sticking my fingers in it. See, this is still kind of moving around in here. And see how pretty that stickles is on there? Okay, so I'm going to move that aside, move all the paper pieces away, and I'm going to grab, this is 5.5 by 5.5, and so I have cut a 5.5 by 11 piece of paper. This is a cream from Stampin' Up. There we go. Didn't this turn out pretty? That green and the pink? I think it did. And then we are going to add glue. There's my card base. Try to line this up. And I'm just going to start placing my flowers on my card base in the way that I think I might like them. I know I want a large one down here at the corner, and I want some of the smaller ones to kind of fill in. Maybe this one here. Just trying to get a feel for how I want to place these, and then I'm going to fill in some of these empty spots with leaves. And I want to show you something. If you have a tool like one of these, and a mouse pad that was over at my computer, you can add a lot of texture to these leaves. I'm just using the back side of my mouse pad, and I'm going to turn them over, and I'm just going to draw in the veins, and I'm pressing into the mouse pad, and when you ink it, you can really see. I'm going to ink the edges like I did the flowers, and then I'm going to come over and hit the high points with this. See how it's popping out there? So I have a really cool leaf that actually has some dimension. So I'm going to do that with all of them. Alright, close that up so I don't set my arm in it. Alright, let's see what might be good. Let me move this out of the way. Move this back towards the center. And this is really just my process of just kind of fiddling with things and playing with things until I like what I have. Trying to look at my example for ideas. I want to bring one of these blue ones down here. And bring a pink one up here. Let's see. Something kind of like that. liking that pink one. Maybe we'll put it up here with. And then I'm going to bring in one of these FabScraps trinkets. Maybe up in here, and then we'll put our words up in here. So let's just kind of, what do you think? Does it look better squished in together? Okay, and shall we add some color maybe to this one with, I might just try spritzing some of this color shine on it. Could ruin the whole thing right here. Is that what you're thinking? I just want some. I think I like that gold. Let me go back to the gold. This Color Shine Gold doesn't seem to have a gold-based pigment. It just seems to have a lot of shine. It's really different, I think, from the rest of them. I'm just going to let it dry on there without wiping any of the excess off. Let me get the rest of this off, though. Okay. Let's start putting our card together. This really is the way I do it. I just kind of lay it down and then pick up and put down. Doesn't always go down exactly the way that I started, but alrighty, and this metal charm goes down perfectly with the glossy accents. I'm going to bend it up a little bit, curl it under a little bit. It's thin enough that you really can do a lot of shaping with it. And I'm going to bring in some of these. This is from The Sweetest Thing, My Mind's Eye, and the enamel dots. Don't have any of the little bitty ones left. Alrighty. So I'm going to stick my glue on the back. And once it dries, it's down. Alright, for words. I was thinking that I liked this congratulations. And I thought I had a blue word that I liked. I'm going to make a little bit of a flag shape. I'm just going to cut up. Like that. Alright, back after having camera issues and recharging the camera. You can see that my card is done. I could add one of these right here with the congratulations, but I think I'm going to leave it just the way it is. And I added stickles, the Stardust stickles, to some of the flowers while I was recharging my camera. And so this is done. And I wanted to bring in the first card and just compare them a little bit with the blues and the yellows and the blues and the pinks. And some of the things that were different. This one uses 2 full kits, and so I have some of the bigger flowers here, which I like this better than this one. But I like these little flowers, and I like the colors of this one. So there's 2 ideas, and all you need to do is pick out the pages that you want out of this Victoria Roses from FabScraps. Has 40 different pages, 4 different size roses per page, 8 different patterns. Check it out at Scrappin in the City. This is Dixie signing off.